Good morning, Outliers. Welcome back to Outlier Live, where we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. Our top story of the day is Trump encouraging voters to write no tax on tips on restaurant receipts. Trump said restaurant workers, hotel workers, and caddies would most benefit from his proposal. Of course, Trump is out there trying to drum up as many votes as he can leading up into the election this fall. And I got to say, this is a pretty controversial take here. Um, Now, tipping culture has been a big deal, right? Across all the United States, we've heard over and over and over again about how tipping culture has gotten out of control. And one thing that I have decided as my own personal rule for tipping culture is this: would I tip for this service using cash? If not, I'm not going to hit the leave a tip button, right? I'll give you a perfect example of this where I thought was the most egregious form of abusive tipping practices I've ever come across. For Christmas time, my son was getting Starbucks gift cards for all of his teachers, his middle school teachers, and so he's got 7 teachers, and so I go through the drive-through. I say I need 7 gift cards, 7 $10 gift cards for the teachers, and they scan all the cards, and then they hand me the little machine, and I tap my card to it, and then it says, "Do you want to leave a tip?" And I looked at the person, I looked at the machine, I looked at the person, I looked at the machine, and I'm like, since when did we ever start tipping for somebody scanning gift cards? At that point, I was like, I am done with tipping culture because it was like, it wasn't much. It was like a dollar, 10%, whatever. And I'm like, no, absolutely, just flat no. I am done with tipping culture. So here's my rule: if you wouldn't tip with cash, don't feel pressured to tip on the card. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, during COVID, I used to be the biggest tipper, right? Because I knew those people during COVID and 2020, 2021 really needed as much help as they possibly could. So I was tipping overkill. I mean, I'm tipping, $50 on a $70 check. I'm tipping $10 for you to hand me my drink at Sonic, at not Sonic. Yeah, maybe at Sonic too. Yeah. At Sonic and at Starbucks. Um, but at this point in 2024, tipping culture went the opposite direction. It went from, hey, I'm going to do something nice for you because I can, to I am over you trying to extort me every chance that you get with tipping culture. I'm over this. So, Trump is saying he wants his voters to write no tax on tips on restaurant receipts. Let's take a look further on this, right? President Trump encourages voters to write on restaurant receipts to spread the word of his proposal to eliminate taxes on tips. Trump made the remark at an event celebrating his 78th birthday. Restaurant workers, hospitality workers, and anyone else that gets tips would benefit from this. No tax on tips. Okay, it's done. We need to spread the word so that every time you leave a tip for the next 5 months, you put on a receipt, vote for Trump because there's no tax on tips. Now, I don't know what the tax structure on tips. I've never had a position where I needed to do that. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on this. I've announced that I've eliminated taxes on tips for restaurant workers and hospitality workers and anyone who relies on tips. No more taxes on tips. None. I can imagine for somebody who makes their living on tips that this is a really big deal. I mean, could you imagine if 70, 80, 90+% of your income comes from tips and you don't pay any tax on that? I for one would be super super stoked on this, right? I would love to get 70, 80, 90% of my income not taxed at all. And I think with enough word of mouth, that's going to spread like wildfire. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you feel like this is actually a great strategy, or is this going to backfire in some way? I don't know. I'm very curious to hear your opinions. But I want to take a look at one stock, Blooming Brands Inc. Bloomin' Brands Inc. Okay, this is a stock I had actually never even heard of until today. Bloomin' Brands Inc. Covers things like Outback Steakhouse, right? I've been going to Outback Steakhouse for ages and ages and ages, as long as I remember. And I tell you what, one of the things I love to get there is the salad with the blue cheese and the I don't know what they do to the nuts on there, but they're like sweet nuts. Man, that's just such a good salad. But we've seen their stock price go from a high of around $30, just shy of $30 in March, and now it's been on a downside, especially since we got a recent sell signal. been on a downside down to as low as $18. So, I mean, we've wiped off about a third of value over the last few months here. So this stock is definitely not looking so hot lately. But for restaurant workers at somewhere like this could be a great boom for them, for those working at Bloomin' Brands, right? We take a look at the historical performance for Outlier here. 20.28% returns, not too shabby, especially when buy and hold. Buy and hold's down 13% returns. So that's not too great on buy and hold, but you know what? Whenever you can have a positive expectancy following buy and sell signals as easy as this, that's a pretty good spot to be in, right? Also, I want to send you free daily AI trades, an email that looks exactly like this. It's super easy. All you got to do is go to freeaitrades.com and you'll get a daily email just like this one sent from me with my own personal picks. Free AI signals like that, freeaitrades.com. Now let's go see what the internet has to say about this. You've been served. Trump gets huge ovation as he urges voters to vote for Trump, no tax on tips on restaurant receipts. The former president has vowed to make tips tax exempt in an effort to help service and hospitality workers. I'm very curious about this, right? This is a big portion of the economy for a lot of people. How does that really work? Real men tip in cash anyhow. Fat and pathetic. Russian Republican, give me a break. We've all seen that is proven completely false. This person says, what a loser. This person says, President Biden's budget proposal calls for an increase in capital gains tax up to 44%. Be the highest capital gain tax in the U.S. has ever seen. Oh, man. This person says this was a good one. And this one says because he needs Nevada. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this is a good plan? Or do you think that this is just going to not materialize into anything at all? I'm very curious. Elon Musk, Trump, during a Tesla shareholder meeting. The Tesla CEO confirms Trump calls him out of the blue. So Trump is calling Elon out of the blue. And I got to say, Elon, in my opinion, so here it is. Here's the disclosure, because I know I get comments every single time I talk about this. Yes, I'm an Elon fanboy. Yes, I'm a Tesla fanboy. Yes, I'm a Tesla owner. No, I'm not paid to say good things about Tesla, but I know there's a lot of people who are paid to basically deride Tesla every chance they get. Now, with that out of the way, I think Elon is this generation's Henry Ford. And if he hadn't expressed his political views, the whole landscape of how the electric vehicle market wouldn't have changed. It would have continued on a rocket ship trajectory forever. But because he expressed his political views, now all these people have decided, oh, Elon's bad because he feels this way. And his company, which, 6 months ago was awesome, is the bane of existence, right? Give me a break here, right? Elon is going to change the world. And we're just sitting in wait to watch him do it. Now he's dishing on talks with Trump during Tesla shareholder meeting. Discussed his relationship with President Trump during the electric vehicle giant shareholder meeting on Thursday, confirming that the pair have conversations and revealing some of what they've discussed. He does call me out of the blue for no reason. I don't know why, but he does. Musk said that Trump is very nice when he's on calls, and telling the former president that EVs are pretty good for the future and that America needs a leader in electric cars. Musk went on to say a lot of Trump's friends now own Teslas and love them. He added Trump is a huge fan of the Cybertruck. I am too. I think the Cybertrucks are super cool. I really honestly want to get one so bad. But the funny story is that, so like I say, I own a Model Y Performance and it's freaking awesome. I love that car. Greatest car I've ever owned. And I was like, hey, I was talking to my wife. I said, I'd love to get one of those Cybertrucks. I think they're super cool. And she looked at me dead in the eye and she said, I will never sit in a Cybertruck. I will never be seen in a Cybertruck. I will never drive a Cybertruck. So don't even bother getting a Cybertruck because I will never, ever be in it. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So I suppose I'll have to get a big old diesel truck instead of a Cybertruck. But I just think they're so cool, right? The tech billionaire's confirmation said that the tech billionaire's confirmation and that, I don't know, this is poorly written. He has talks with Trump, calling it a pair's growing alliance, citing people familiar. The Journal said Trump is considering offering Musk an advisory role in the White House if he becomes president in the fall, which is super interesting. Tesla shareholders. Oh, we're going to talk about that story in just a minute. But overall, let me know your opinion down in the comments below. Do you think that a Trump and Elon partnership is good for the economy, is good for business, is good for America? Or do you think, you know what, He's jumping the shark here, choosing somebody like Elon to be in his cabinet. I don't know. I personally, I think this is awesome, a great step in the right direction. But I also feel that Elon can get really stretched, right? Elon is bouncing too many balls in one court, and I don't know. It feels like if he focused more, he would be more successful in one of those endeavors. But he has such a broad interest that it's really hard to just pick one of those endeavors for him, right? And that's somewhat reflective in the stock price. We were all there when the stock rocketed up to a split adjusted price of around $400, right? And going from about 200 to 400 back in 2021. Man, I remember when that was happening. People were basically buying Tesla hand over fist and saying, if you don't buy Tesla, you're an idiot, right? It's only going up. And lately it's gone from a high of around, let's call it 300 or so back in July of 2023. Over the last year, it's gone down to as low as 144. So about half the price. It's cut about half the price in the span of those of a year. But it has come on up lately. It's up at around 178 right now. We got a buy signal on Tesla actually today. We got a buy signal on Tesla today. That's a surprise. I didn't even know that was happening. But I did look at the performance summary on here, and Tesla sees a 1,039% return following these outlier buy and sell signals that you see on your screen right here. And hey, I want to send you some buy and sell signals every single day, just like what you see on the screen. I'll email you a new buy and sell signal every single day over at freeaitrades.com. Just like this, an email you'll get in your inbox every single day where I'm telling you, hey, this is a cool stock I'm looking at with a buy signal or a sell signal. So hopefully you can join in on that and you don't miss out on the next one that comes through. Let's take a look at what the people are saying out there. Elon Musk dishes on his talks with President Donald Trump during a Tesla shareholder meeting. Biden's greatest accomplishment is showing people how great Trump was. Okay. I love their alliance. If both come together and cook up something, you can be sure the result will be fantastically amazing. Look at that. Fantastically amazing. That's an ad. Original shirt from Amazon. If you still hate Trump after this Biden's show, your commitment to stupidity is impressive. Okay, these are pretty funny. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you think a Trump and Elon partnership is a good thing or a bad thing? Really curious to hear your thoughts. Tesla shareholders have decided that Elon can get paid $56 billion. I remember when this story came out a few months ago. I got to thinking, so it was all one um, basically a vendetta against Elon, and he had a lawsuit go through. And at the time, I don't remember all the details. The story probably covers it. We'll go through it in a minute. But at the time, thinking this dude better watch his back. If one guy was able to successfully block my pay package for $56 billion, I got to be telling you, I would do everything in my power. Not that I would. But I'm saying somebody like Elon might do everything in their power to intimidate, harass, and make this person's life a living hell because of it, right? If you are standing between me and $56 billion, I think a lot of people are going to do a lot of ugly things to make that happen. Um, I mean, it's quite a shock to see a pay package like that and have one person's lawsuit go through to block it. Whew, I gotta admit, that guy probably has a target on his back bigger than a Boeing whistleblower. Tesla shareholders on Thursday voted to reinstate the $56 billion pay package that was voided by a Delaware judge and change the company's state of incorporation from Delaware to Texas, to the great state of Texas. Welcome to Texas. EV maker held its annual shareholder meeting on Thursday in Austin and announced the shareholders that approved Musk's pay package and announced the company's general counsel at the meeting. Additionally, shareholders voted to reincorporate Tesla as a business domiciled in Texas. Musk suggested earlier in the day that the shareholders were set to approve the proposals, posting a graph on Twitter, and both proposals surging above a guaranteed win threshold in recent days. Both Tesla shareholder resolutions are currently passing by wide margins. Thanks for your support. So that's cool. Musk is going to get paid, as he deserves to be. The $56 billion figure refers to a total value of the compensation plan on the value of the stock that was when the suit was ongoing. Given the fluctuations, it's around $44.9 billion. Like we talked about on yesterday's video, it has definitely gone down. Musk opened his remarks at the meeting saying, expressing gratitude to shareholders and told them, I just want to start by saying, hot damn, I love you guys. In January, a Delaware judge voided the pay plan in response to an investor's lawsuit. The judge held that Tesla's board of directors failed to adequately disclose potential conflicts of interest given some directors' close personal relationships with Musk, and failed to inform shareholders that Tesla was on pace to achieve many of the pay performance plan goals. In the wake of the ruling, Musk called for shareholders to change the state of incorporation from Delaware to Texas. The Delaware judge's ruling still stands despite the shareholder vote, although the show of support in the compensation plan may factor into a potential appeal and any future litigation on the subject. Basically, yeah, this one jerk who decided to block Elon's paychecks, and a Delaware judge agreed with him, does not represent the consensus of all the shareholders, which is exactly what he's talking about right here, right? If the consensus of shareholders say, let the man get paid, let the man get paid. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm super curious about this, right? Now, we go from Tesla, which is the greatest car company in the world. Yes, I'm a Tesla fanboy. Yes, I'm an Elon fanboy. Greatest car company in the world. Over to Ford, right? Ford, I got to tell you, it's been coasting sideways in the $11 range for years at this point. And you look at the Ford electric vehicles like the electric Lightning, the Mustang Mach E, and I believe they said that they had others that they've just completely scrapped, right? And the reason is that people don't want Ford EVs. People don't want any other EVs. People only want Teslas. It's just a fact, right? It's like if you are a motorcycle guy, what is the motorcycle that comes to mind, right? It's either some sort of crotch rocket, which is like, there's 10 different crotch rockets, which all basically look the same, or Harley Davidson, right? Harley Davidson. That is a name brand you can hang your hat on when it comes to motorcycles. And Tesla is that brand when it comes to EVs, when it comes to cars almost at this point. And then you've got competitors like Ford who tried. They really tried, but they cannot get people to buy their product because their product is subpar to a competitor in Tesla who prices their vehicles less and whose vehicles are arguably the greatest top of the line in that field. And not only that, but Tesla has built out the supercharger network that is honestly amazing. I've taken a road trip from Texas to Florida, had no issues whatsoever, right? And before you think, oh, it takes so much longer to refuel your car when you have an EV, it was a 20-hour road trip for me, and I spent two entire hours charging my car. That's it. And if you have kids, you can plan on stopping every couple hours or so to let them go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever, which is exactly what we did. So that 2 hours of charging, we were going to be stopping for anyway. So don't let charging scare you off with an electric car. And looking at Ford, right? Lately, we're down in the what is this range right here? Around 1171. And we got a sell signal when it was about 1209. So it's really been sideways to down for honestly a year now. It's just been sideways in this $11 range. However, following the buy and sell signals from Outlier still showed a 106.27% return, which is crazy to think about. When a stock is drifting sideways for ages and ages, Outlier still shows 106% return. So I want to send you a brand new trade every single day in your inbox. It's super easy. Just head on over to freeaitrades.com, join the newsletter, and I'll email you a new trade idea every single day, a new buy signal or a new sell signal to keep you on top of the market. It doesn't get much easier than that. So head on over to freeaitrades.com so you can get on the email newsletter list. Let's go see what the internet has to say about this. Tesla shareholders voted Thursday to restore Elon's record pay package that it was thrown out by a Delaware judge earlier this year. But it doesn't mean we'll get the all-stock compensation anytime soon. Let's see what people have to say. So Tesla basically paid for Twitter. Got it. Oh, that's right, because it was about $44 billion. That's pretty funny. Another failed lawfare, another failed journalist. Sad. Crying all those tears in public must be embarrassing for you. Yeah. Tesla, I don't understand why Tesla has such a divided base. You've got people who love Tesla. You've got people who are so adamantly against Tesla. And in my opinion, I think it's all political related, right? We've got such divisive political nature right now, especially out on social media, that it's easy to just pick a side and go with it. But I tell you what, I'm on the side of the future. I'm not on the side of the dinosaurs anymore. We're over the time of dinosaurs. Let's go into the time of the future. Ooh, this is not a great story, but something we're seeing over and over. Home foreclosures are on the rise again nationwide. More Americans lost their homes in May as foreclosures are moving higher. Home foreclosures rose again in May as Americans continue to grapple with the ongoing cost of living crisis. Now, you've got really 2 sides of the spectrum here. You've got so many people who bought with rates super, super low, who are basically locked into their home pretty much forever, which is me, right? My mortgage is 3.5%. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon because of that. My payment, if I were to get into my home today with the appreciation of the house and with how rates have gone up so much, it would cost 4 times more than what I pay for it. So I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And then you've got the other half who bought when rates have been higher, thinking, "Hey, I'll just refinance when rates go down." Now they're paying that 4 times higher payment, and then everything else is costing so much more, and then they're like, "Oof, I can't afford this," right? At 6.99% interest rate, I think we're pretty much gonna have to just foreclose on the house, right? I can't afford everything else that's going on right now, and then you throw into it the fact that my mortgage payment could be 4 times lower, like what mine is. Oof, a lot of people are really hurting. Um 32,621 properties in May were with foreclosure filings. That's a 3% increase from the prior year, although it's down 7% from the same time last year. May's foreclosure activity highlights a nuanced shift in the housing market. We've observed a slight increase in foreclosure alerts or foreclosure starts. The decline in completed foreclosures and resilient a decline in completed foreclosures indicates resilience in certain areas. Okay. Nationwide, about one in every 4,320 housing units had a foreclosure filing in May. That's quite a lot. New Jersey experienced the highest rate at one in every 1,939 homes receiving foreclosure notice, more than double the national average. Delaware registered the foreclosure filings about one in every 2,500 homes. Housing affordability is the worst it's been in decades, thanks to a spike in home prices and mortgage rates. Combined, the two have helped push the typical salary required in nationwide for home ownership up to $106,500, 61% increase from 59,000 just 4 years ago. Whoa! So you're telling me that just 4 years ago you needed 59,000 to own a home, and now today it's 106,000, basically doubled in the span of 4 years. That's crazy. There's several reasons to blame for the affordability crisis. Available home supply remains down 34% from the typical amount before COVID, and it's down that much. The home supply is down that much because people are locked in. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. If I were to sell my home, it would be so much more difficult to buy a comparable home. Why am I going to do that? And you've got so many people in the marketplace that aren't flooding the market with the inventory who are staying in their homes for that exact reason. I've heard people call it golden handcuffs. Um, the average rate on a 30-year loan fell to 6.95, while the peak was at 7.79 just a few months ago. It's significantly higher than the pandemic era lows of just 3%. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you seeing this out in your marketplace, in your local area? Really curious, right? And one of the places that I like to look is at Zillow. You probably do too. Zillow had a high in 2021 of about $170 a share, and now it's coasting around $41 a share. So it's down about 70, 80% from its all-time highs. But in the last year or so, it's moved from 56 down to 35, up to 58, down to 40. And we got a buy signal a couple weeks ago, June 6th, and it's gone from about 42 at that point to about 48 already. So that's a nice move. What is that? 20% already? 42, at least 10% move. So that's a $6 move, 15% move in the span of a couple days. That's a pretty sweet move right there on that signal. So Zillow is definitely hurting, going back from 2021 when everybody was looking to move to today, it's still down about 80% or so. But following these buy and sell signals I was just showing you, you'd still be up 30%. Well, buy and hold is down 1.15% since this period right here. Outlier is still up 30.9%. So pretty outstanding returns when it's just a bloodbath on this particular stock. Now, I don't want to leave you out in the cold because I can actually send you a free stock pick every single day. Just head on over to freeaitrades.com and you can grab yourself a free stock pick that looks like this in your email every single day. So head on over to freeaitrades.com to get you set up there. Now let's go take a look at what the internet has to say about this. More Americans lost their homes in May as foreclosures move higher, courtesy of Bidenomics. With insurance and property taxes going through the roof, I can see why. Bidenomics at the finest. Oh, property tax is a big thing. I do a lot of consulting with financial institutions, and this one in particular in Louisiana was telling me that their loan originations are way down. Number of people taking mortgages are way, way down. because one of the main factors is that when people go to get the insurance, they see that the price of insurance is actually more on a per month basis than what they're paying on their mortgage. So they're saying, wait a minute, my mortgage is, let's use round numbers. My mortgage is $2,000 a month. My insurance is $2,500 a month. So my total payment's $4,500 a month. Forget this. Homeownership is just becoming out of reach for so many people. And it's not just in Louisiana. We're seeing that all over the place. We're seeing places like California, even one of the most populous states in America, shutting down insurance companies, or insurance companies just outright saying, we're not going to do California anymore. Now, granted, that's for different reasons, but the fact that insurance is getting higher and higher and less companies are taking it, it's a real problem out there. So let me know in the comments down below how this is impacting you. And do me a favor, click one of these two videos up above. The YouTube algorithm gods think that you're going to like one of these. And thank you so much for tuning in today's Outlier Live. I'll see you on the next episode.